I don't know, man. I really don't know anymore. I really don't know. Where do I even begin? I feel like it's going to be one of them nights again. Really. Where I just don't give a shit about anything that I do or say or talk about on the show tonight. If you guys watched SmackDown and you watched the last match, the main event of the show, and you watched whatever happened at the end of that six-man tag, that worthless six-man tag team match, I find it so funny how WWE could look back at this show, or these shows in general. This show has been absolutely horrendous since its move to Fox. This show has been taped for 2 weeks now. How anybody who edited this looked back and said, man, this was a good show. Man, we did a good job on this show. How Vince McMahon looks back at this show and says, this is good shit, right? How Bruce Pritchard looks at this show and says, I love you. You know? I don't understand how anybody could look at this show and think that they did a good job. Look at what they did in the closing segment of that main event. You had Otis and Baron Corbin with Daniel Bryan, the three men on the SmackDown side of things in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match on Sunday. Baron Corbin, Daniel Bryan, and Otis. Still wondering where Tucker is, Bruce. Where the fuck is Tucker, Bruce? Ha! Never mind Ali. Now it's Tucker. Gotta get Salrex to make me fucking milk carton where all these missing people. Baron Corbin, Daniel Bryan, and Otis of Heavy Machinery fighting after the match was over. It's almost as if we got another match. A whole nother match. Michael Cole going on and on and on. Can't listen to him. People were sending me clips on social media. JD, this is how you watch SmackDown with the fucking volume muted. They were fighting over a ladder. At the end of the main event, the main event was over for about 5 minutes now. Fighting over a ladder. Fighting over climbing the ladder. Fighting over the right to grab the briefcase to the Money in the Bank men's match. What were they fighting over? Why were they fighting for position on the ladder? Why were they fighting for the briefcase? What was the purpose of them fighting over the briefcase? A briefcase that they cannot win until Sunday. I don't understand it. Did they not look like three blithering fucking idiots out there? How does anybody look at this and say, this is good television? This made me absolutely just fucking zone out to a point where I didn't even want to come on this fucking show tonight. I didn't want to be sitting here. I wish I had a magic lantern and I could fucking rub this motherfucker and just wish for a stunt double to sit here and do this fucking review tonight. I do not understand how anybody can consume this show. If you are not me, I don't know what the fuck you're doing with your evening if you're watching SmackDown Live. I don't really understand. What was in the briefcase that Baron Corbin needed so badly? A briefcase that he cannot win? What the fuck was in it? 25% off Burger King, I'm assuming. Right? Maybe free delivery with that? I don't understand this. They're fighting for momentum. What momentum? You look like a fucking idiot out there. You can't win the briefcase now. Oh, it's symbolism. They're fighting over symbolism. Symbolism. You can keep your fucking symbolism and just give me my fucking logic. You can keep your symbolism and I will remain looking like a legit fucking badass. All three of these guys, I love Bryan, I love Otis. King Corbin can go fuck himself. They look like a bunch of fools. I don't get it. And that was the premise of SmackDown tonight on Fox. Uninspired. That is the best word for me to describe SmackDown on Fox. Uninspired. I don't know how anybody can watch this show and say anything positive about it. I really don't. I swear to God, the community is a bunch of cocksuckers. They really are. How you can sit there and openly say anything positive about this show, you might have some missing fucking brain cells, man. A whole bunch of them. You may be dumber than Tom Segura after his comments tonight. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. At that point, if you're saying anything positive about SmackDown, you are absolutely riding the WWE cock over and over and over again, man. You might as well just fucking put that shit and plaster all over fucking Pornhub at that point. You are riding them harder than a fucking, name any porn star that you guys like watching. Slide them in there. Fill in the fucking blank. Jesus Christ. Unreal. This show sucks. Absolutely fucking sucks. I hate it. Worst show on television. I hope that they bomb even worse in the rating. I really do. What is not going to bomb is Off the Script. Thank you guys so much for joining me here today on YouTube, on Spotify, on iTunes, on all other major audio platforms. I am JD. Thank you guys again for joining me. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. That's on Twitter and Instagram. The risk is worth the reward, man. Man, oh man, if I hear that shit one more fucking time, my head might explode. Seriously. We have a whole nother Sunday to get through, folks. A whole nother Sunday with them reiterating that all pay-per-view on Sunday night. The risk is worth the reward. Can't wait. The only reward, folks, is not watching the show. That's it. That's your reward. Anyway, follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. That's on Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Hit that thumbs up on the video down below. We really appreciate it. It helps out the video. Gets it into the recommended section on YouTube. Patreon.com/JDfromNY206. Make sure you guys go and check out all the other videos that I uploaded. Today's podcast was absolutely killer. The revolt on Talk is Jericho. We dissect what they said. Loved the analysis that I gave you guys today. It was just as good as the Sasha Banks podcast from last year when she left the WWE after WrestleMania. So make sure you guys go and check that out. I would love to get that video at 2,000 likes, and we are well on our way there. So make sure you guys go and check that out. Link is down below in the description. And today's podcast is brought to you by my good friends over at Blue Chew. Being that we're talking about the blue brand, Blue Chew. Use code JD at checkout and get your free sample. All you guys have to do is pay shipping and handling. And after watching tonight's show, you're going to need some fucking Blue Chew to get yourself excited because this show is as lifeless as a fucking virgin sex life, man. Let me tell you, this show is absolutely abysmal. That's BlueChew.com and use code JD at checkout. We'll talk about my good friends over at Blue Chew a little bit later. Let's get into the top of the hour, man. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, they had their match, first match of the evening. Before the match actually took place, they showed Mandy stretching using a stretch band for arm curls backstage. Otis walked up and asked if she was ready. Mandy said this match with Sonya Deville was a long time coming. He asked if he could do anything to help. She told Otis to focus on his Money in the Bank ladder match on Sunday and said to him, "I got this." And then she kissed him on the cheek, and Otis was gleaming with happiness. Any man would if Mandy Rose kissed them on the cheek. So then we seen Dolph Ziggler. I want to see if they cut his promo here from the WWE social media accounts this week, because they did so last week, and Carl Anderson said, well, yeah, they'll do anything to further de-push you and just bury you. You can't get yourself over in WWE. Dolph Ziggler and Sonya Deville were backstage. She said she's never been more ready for anything in her life, and I've never been more ready to fucking say goodbye to SmackDown on Fox. She said, this is 5 years worth of beatings she's going to give Mandy tonight. Dolph said, they celebrate one-on-one tonight, wink, wink, you know. But Sonya doesn't swing that way, even though she's quite the looker, I'll say that. Ziggler told Sonya to go easy on Mandy's face. Ziggler said, please do that for me. And then Sonya said, no promises. No promises. I will leave Mandy with a pretty-looking face after tonight. So we get to the match. The match went about 5 minutes, and they fit a lot into this 5-minute match. Mandy Rose is somebody that I did not like at first glance. I didn't think she was much of anything, really. I thought she was the second coming of Eva Marie. She's clearly proved everybody wrong there. She's much better than Eva Marie in every sense of the word. But she's come along so well, and she's actually done a very good job at getting better in the ring. So I really can't shit on Mandy Rose. I would actually like to see more of Mandy Rose in the women's division in WWE. Sonya Deville is so much better than what she was, man. I remember her back in the days of NXT, and she was green as grass, man. Such a forced gimmick that she had, and it was fresh and new for the WWE Women's Division, and then the WWE went out there and signed Ronda Rousey and Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir and Shayna Baszler, and then it's like you got these legit MMA badasses, and then you got Sonya Deville. Now, Sonya Deville meddled in a little MMA, but she's nowhere near what those women were. So having the gimmick kind of looked ridiculous standing next to all these other legit women who had years of experience in MMA, and Sonya Deville's here with barely any experience. And then she's got this MMA gimmick. As soon as they brought it to the main roster, it kind of stayed for a little bit, and then they slowly started to transform her on the main roster. She kind of came into her own. She was incorporating some of her own personality, who she was. She is openly lesbian, and that was a big turning point for her character, so much so that they actually pitched a storyline. It's in the news and the rumors. They pitched a storyline for that to actually be a thing on WWE TV with her and Mandy. So they ended up giving that to Lana and Liv Morgan, and then they ended up dropping that storyline, as we all know. Awful. But Sonya Deville has come a long way, man. I would love to see more of these two women. I really would. And I got to give both women props here. This was very good for what it was. Very good for the 5 minutes. A lot of intensity, a lot of realism. It was stiff. I love the body language and the facial expressions on both women. They really sold the personal nature of this match, and I would like to see more of it. I don't want to see another one-on-one match. I don't. And the reason why I don't want to see another one-on-one match here, Sonya won, okay? Leave Sonya with that momentum. Leave that alone. That is what you wanted to accomplish here. Mandy loses nothing by losing this match. She has Otis. Otis is a winner so far in this thing, and she looks like a winner because she's standing next to Otis. Otis beat Dolph at WrestleMania. Otis got the girl, and Otis is in Money in the Bank by beating Dolph to get into that match. So she looks like a winner just by association. So she really doesn't lose much here. Sonya needed that, not only because she hasn't really done much of anything on SmackDown, but she was always looked at as the second wheel in Fire and Desire. Everybody looked at Mandy, and Sonya was always second. So now Sonya is on her own, doing her own thing. She got a win over Mandy Rose. She proved herself. Yeah, she cheated, but she's a heel. So what? I think this is it. One match, and that's it. The only problem I have with this is the fact that it did not happen at the pay-per-view. You could have did this at the pay-per-view, given them 10 minutes, given them double the amount of time on Sunday, and it would have been a very good women's contest. But instead, we got the payoff here, or somewhat of a payoff here on SmackDown, 2 days before the pay-per-view, which is not something I usually agree with. Same thing happened with the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders on Monday Night Raw. They gave us that match, only to do the match again on Sunday, and it's going to end up being the same match that we seen on Monday. So what's the difference? Why do it then when you can just save it for the first time and just get it out of the way on Sunday, and that's it? WWE likes to rinse and repeat because that's how creatively lazy they really are. This was awesome for 5 minutes. Deville wins, and Sonya slipped free, leveraged her shoulders down for a 3 count, and that was it. So what Mandy did here, she went up and set up for her finisher, and Sonya slipped out with a small package, or not a small, a roll-up, and that was it. This one was over. She hooked the tights, and Michael Cole said that this was one of the most emotional and personal matchups I can ever remember on Friday Night SmackDown. Really selling it and shilling it. I can't even remember a personal contest that I legitimately cared about on SmackDown. This is not one I really cared about. I wasn't fully emotionally invested in it, but they were just shilling this to really sell the emotional aspect of it. Whatever the case is, Sonya wins. I would call it a day here. And obviously, this is going to lead to Otis and Mandy versus Dolph and Sonya at some point, whether it's on SmackDown or it happens on the next pay-per-view. I don't know when it happens, but at that point, Otis and Mandy can win. Otis can pin Dolph again because I don't think Mandy should pin Sonya. I think you should leave Sonya alone and keep her with that momentum, and the good guys would prevail over the heels. And that's it. And both parties move on to different things. And I would call it a day after that. So let me know what you want to see with all of this. Let me know what you guys think of that down below in the comment section. So we got the New Day and Lucha House Party versus the Forgotten Sons and Miz and Morrison. This one was 12 minutes, a big 8-man tag. This is something that proves WWE's creative ineptness, to be quite honest with you. This is the creative laziness of WWE's SmackDown writing team. All they did was take the Fatal 4-Way match that we're going to see on Sunday for the Tag Team Championships, and they put the heels on one side and the babyfaces on the other. And that's it. Now, I'm not saying that it wasn't good. It just was something that I genuinely don't care about. Everybody worked their ass off, but I'm not emotionally invested. This is the entire SmackDown Tag Team division, folks. The Lucha House Party, the New Day, the Forgotten Sons, Miz and Morrison. That is your entire SmackDown Tag Team quote-unquote division, if you even want to call it that. That's terrible. Absolutely terrible. So we got the heels winning this one. Miz and Morrison and the Forgotten Sons win in 12 minutes. Everybody worked their ass off, except for the Miz, because the Miz sucks. So Miz knocked both members of the New Day out of the ring. Forgotten Sons attacked New Day at ringside, including powerbombing Kofi onto Big E. Before that, they stomped Big E onto the concrete, and then they powerbombed Kofi on top of Big E. Back in the ring, Morrison kicked Metalik off the top rope. Lince Dorado rolled up Morrison after a dive off the top rope, scored a 2 count on a pinfall. Morrison caught him on a third try and went for Starship Pain. Dorado moved and gave Morrison a Poison Rana, which looked brutal. Miz blind tagged himself in and gave Dorado a skull-crushing finale for the 3 count, and that was it. So we got the heels getting one over on the babyfaces. So what happens at the pay-per-view? The Lucha House Party don't deserve any sort of tag team title run at all. Miz and Morrison, they do not deserve a tag team title opportunity. They were the former champions, and you put the titles on the New Day. What sense would it make only to put them back on Miz and Morrison? The New Day are not going to be pinned in this match because that's the typical WWE scenario. They're not going to pin their most favorite tag team in the New Day. If anything happens, it'll be the Forgotten Sons pinning Miz and Morrison because Miz and Morrison are the guys who want the titles most, who feel cheated. And after the little stare down that we got tonight with the Forgotten Sons and Miz and Morrison, I can absolutely see a situation where the Forgotten Sons are going to pin Miz and Morrison to become the new tag team champions. And WWE thinks by giving the Forgotten Sons the tag team championships, being that it's going to be their 3rd or 4th week on the main roster, that they're pushing the Forgotten Sons and people are going to care about the Forgotten Sons. Meanwhile, even as tag team champions in a forgotten division, they will still be forgotten by the majority of the audience. Nobody's going to care. What purpose does it give the Forgotten Sons to be tag team champions? What sense does it make? Or what credibility do the titles have that are going to enhance the Forgotten Sons? None. You see, the way this thing works is if the titles actually meant something, then the titles would make the title holders look a little bit better than they usually are. In this case, the titles are going to actually bring down the Forgotten Sons, if not, make them look worse than they've ever looked in their entire life. Because there's no division. There's no division. Who have they beaten? They've beaten the New Day. And that's it. That really doesn't warrant a tag team title shot on SmackDown. I want to see more. I want to see competitive tag team action. I want to see win after win after win. I want to see wins racked up. And then you build a program between number 1 contender and tag team champion. Is that so hard to do? How many weeks do we have to see the challengers beat the champions in a non-title match or something like this fucking tag team match or whatever? and then they get a championship match. It's fucking childish. You could have your fucking 5-year-old daughter, 5-year-old son sit down and watch this shit and book a better show than these fucking writers who have been at this for years. Better than Bruce. This is ridiculous garbage. I was not interested in this whatsoever, and the heels get the win over the babyface. And meanwhile, this is the same thing that happened on Monday. Street Profits and Viking Raiders, we're going to see it again on Sunday. This, we've seen the tag team fatal 4-way happen tonight. That was it. We're going to see the same shit again on Sunday night. Who cares? So the heels win here. Miz and Morrison, Forgotten Sons win in 12 minutes. That was it. Good action, just no emotional investment whatsoever. Caleb Braxton interviewed King Corbin. King Corbin said he was looking past tonight and planning how he'll win Money in the Bank, but torturing his opponents throughout the halls of the WWE headquarters is what he wants to do on his way to victory. He said he wants to see how far Rey Mysterio can fly off the roof. There's another inside fucking just jab there. Yeah, someone's flying off the roof. Every single time they've talked about the Money in the Bank ladder match, they've always mentioned about someone going off the roof. Aleister Black said it on Monday with AJ Styles. AJ Styles said something back to Aleister Black. And here we have Baron Corbin mentioning something about Rey Mysterio flying off the roof. So someone is definitely going off the roof. I'll have more on the live stream on Sunday when I do my preview and predictions right here on Off the Script. So he mentioned Rey Mysterio. He said he doesn't mind knocking on all the doors of the WWE offices to find Aleister Black. He said Otis is too big of an idiot to get off the ground floor, and if he finds his way to an elevator, he'll probably clog the shaft like he clogs his arteries. Let me repeat that, folks. Baron Corbin said that if Otis finds his way to an elevator, he'll probably clog the shaft like he clogs his arteries. So Otis was on a nice upswing of momentum. And here we have Vince McMahon penciling a promo for Baron Corbin to make fun of Otis's weight. So Otis has this nice string of momentum for himself. He's got the pretty blonde around his shoulder, right? Around his arm. And here we have Vince McMahon cutting him down and knocking him down a few pegs on the ladder, making fun of his obvious, just, in plain sight, one biggest deficiency in Otis is his weight. Yeah, he's a big guy. I don't need you to tell me that Otis is fat. I don't need you to tell me that Otis is big. I don't need you to tell me that Otis likes his meat. I don't need any of that. I see Otis is a big guy. What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? What difference does that make in Otis's ability to perform in the ring? I don't understand it. Why was this a necessary comment? You can't really go in there and praise the guy for his work and how he's come along and how he's got a nice string of momentum for himself, how he should be considered an odds-on favorite, being that he is one of the biggest guys in the match? Why do you got to make fun of him having clogged arteries because he's fat and overweight? Give me a break. And then you people expect that Otis is going to go anywhere as a single in WWE. They're making fun of his weight, knocking him down a few pegs already, and you expect this guy to have anything close to a successful run as a singles competitor on SmackDown? Fucking ridiculous. Said he can already feel the fresh air filling his lungs atop the WWE headquarters as King Money in the Bank. Not happening. Not happening. We go from that to Renee Young. Renee Young. She was there, live, well, not live, taped, but she was there in the ring, interviewing Jeff Hardy in the middle of the ring on SmackDown. So Graves said he had a chance to interview Hardy on his podcast to talk about how excited he was about the next stage of his career without all the demons of his past holding him down. Renee asked what he still has left to prove. Hardy says he's not sure, but he's climbed some tall mountains in WWE and swanton bombed off most of them to lower lows than most will ever know. He said every low has taught him how to get back up and be a survivor. They cut to Sheamus backstage watching on a monitor, mocking Hardy. He said the fans are usually surrounding him, cheering him on to do something completely insane. He said he can still hear the fans' voices. Hardy, Hardy. And he said the fans are usually surrounding him. He hears the fans chanting his name. He said they have stuck with him during this entire time, during his entire career, and he will ask them to stick with him through one more good run in WWE. That's a foreshadowing, folks. This is one more good run in WWE, and then at the end of his contract, he wants to be elite with Matt in AEW. How much money does WWE offer Jeff to stay? I don't know, but I'm sure it's going to be a nice, cool $1 million plus over 5 years to stay with WWE. They went back to Sheamus again, and he asked, is this what people have been waiting for the last 4 weeks? I am with you, my Guinness-loving friend. Is this what people have been waiting for the last 4 weeks? He finally headed to the ring. He said that, or Jeff said, he's surprised that Sheamus hasn't interrupted him yet. Hardy took the microphone and said, I know you're watching me. Come on. And then out comes Sheamus. Sheamus stood on the stage and said this. If this isn't the saddest thing I've ever seen in WWE, the adrenaline junkie crawled back to the ring for one more sip of the bottle, and they're not even here to give him a petty swig. Unbelievable. So, I love the fact that Sheamus is making fun of his drug addiction and his alcoholism, and the fans are not there to give him a pity swig of the bottle. Love it. Jeff, who the hell do you think still cares about you, he says. He said because he's a legend, nobody will say it to his face except for him. He said the fans are tired of the wasted second chances. Hardy called Sheamus a hater. Sheamus says he's not a hater and he used to respect him. How many false comebacks can one man have before we realize he's never really coming back? Hardy said, maybe you should ask yourself that question, fella. I didn't like the way Jeff Hardy came off here. I think it sounded very forced. Sheamus said everybody except Jeff realizes his next failure is right around the corner. And that's cute. You're using your own word against, or my own word against me. That's cute. Using fella. Sheamus said since he came back, he's been sniffing out SmackDown's weakest flames. Have you walked past Bruce Pritchard, my Guinness-loving friend? I love a bro kick to his face, honestly. He said he has been barely burning, or his flame has been barely burning for far too long. It's time for me to put it out, said Sheamus. He put the mic down, walked to the ring, and they brawled right there in the middle of the ring. Renee Young got out of there. Hardy dropkicked Sheamus, then had a whisper in the wind and a twist of fate. He tore off his shirt, leapt off the top rope, hit a swanton, and Jeff Hardy is back, yells Michael Cole. Jeff Hardy did all of this in a span of about 30 seconds, climbs the top rope and poses while Sheamus is grunting and selling the effects of all the moves that Jeff Hardy did. Why are you going to pose as if you're in a wrestling match there? Who are you posing in front of? Why are you posing with someone like Sheamus that is capable of kicking your fucking teeth down your throat at any given moment? Why are you posing in the middle of the ring after all that you did right there, which was very minimal to Sheamus? It looked stupid. I don't know if you guys watched, but he did all of that and then posed as if there was a live audience there doing his thing. His Hardyisms. It looked ridiculous. I don't get why WWE is just overly scripted, overly produced, overly formulaic. I mean, who the fuck are you posing in front of? Give me a break with this shit. Hardy looked stupid. Now, I think Sheamus has been great, but all the shit that he's talked to Michael Cole about him taking out Jeff Hardy, he looked a little weak here. I don't know what that means or what that's foreshadowing, but if these guys have a match, I can't see Sheamus going in there and beating Jeff Hardy. He's not going to beat a returning Jeff Hardy. It's stupid. They should be on their separate paths, and then when the time is right, collide in a one-on-one match when both are built up. You built Sheamus up to be this unstoppable force against a bunch of nobodies, but Sheamus is a legit badass. And then you bring Jeff Hardy back, and that's the first match you want to do? So what happens to Sheamus when he inevitably loses to Jeff Hardy? What's going to happen to him? Hardy's going to ascend, and Sheamus is going to be right where he is now. Nowhere. Stupid. Absolutely stupid. This is the logic of WWE Creative on SmackDown. It's stupid. Moving on here, man. Going into hour 2, we got a brief video hyping part 1 of The Undertaker special on the WWE Network, premiering on Sunday night after Money in the Bank, something that I'm very interested in looking at and catching up on. Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt, they were going to meet face-to-face for the first time in the ring for their Money in the Bank Universal Championship title match on Sunday. Braun made his entrance to the ring, and Braun stood in the middle of the ring, said that he debuted with the Wyatt family, but if Bray Wyatt thinks he created Braun Strowman and owes him for all his success, he's delusional. Oh, just like Bruce, right? Just like Bruce Pritchard and Vince McMahon running this show, right? Delusional. He said he's tried to talk to him through his puppets and funhouse because he's scared. He reiterated that if Bray has something to say to him, say it to his face. Bray walked out to his entrance theme of the Firefly Funhouse, the kitty theme, and he made an in-person appearance rather than in a pre-recorded Funhouse segment. He was there in the flesh. Now, I don't know if you guys were watching Braun Strowman or not cut this promo before Bray Wyatt came out, but I was watching it with eyes wide open because I wanted to dissect what was being done here. I want to physically understand. I want to understand completely about why I should care about this nothing storyline. Braun Strowman had a cup of coffee and a croissant in the Wyatt family, and then they moved him on to SmackDown. Why should I care about Braun Strowman's time in the Wyatt family? What exactly did he fucking do in the Wyatt family? He did nothing. He was always the black sheep. He was the black sheep and given that moniker for a reason. He was the most useless of the Wyatt family. Wyatt, Rowan, and Harper. Strowman was just there to aesthetically just fill out and round out the Wyatt family because he's 7 foot and he's a monster among men and he's a big guy and he can run fast, right? You know? He runs fast, folks. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. So I'm watching this, and Braun Strowman's in the ring by himself before Bray Wyatt comes out. It almost sounded and looked like Braun Strowman, A, forgot his lines, B, didn't care to memorize the lines that he was given, and C, it looked like he was reading off of a teleprompter. Looking straight into the camera, it looked like he was reading off of a teleprompter. There was this weird edit where they shifted, and you know there was an edit in the tape, where it's almost as if they edited it in a way where they had to redo the segment. That they had to stop and then pick up again, and they edited it in a way where it looked like they started it, stopped it, and then continued on. I don't know if you guys picked up on that, but this sounded completely unnatural. Braun Strowman, he has the voice to deliver a real promo. I just wish that he doesn't fall into the same fucking trap as everybody else. He sounds so produced. He sounds intimidating, but at the same time, he doesn't sound intimidating because it's not coming from here. It's not coming from here. It sounds so fucking forced. And I didn't like this promo whatsoever. So Bray entered the ring, and he told Braun all he wanted was for him to say he was sorry. Braun says he doesn't owe him anything. Bray said that's not true. Braun said Bray will be sorry on Sunday. Bray said he knows him. A good creator always knows his own creations, right? I know what you're going to say and what you're going to do and what's best for you. I know what's best for you guys too. Don't watch SmackDown, just wait for me. Every week. Braun says he doesn't know what he's going to do or say. Bray said Braun should come home because he doesn't belong out there with the rest of them, and he can show him he's special just like him. Braun shook his head, but seemed to think he might have some self-doubt. Bray says he thinks he needs to get back the Universal Championship. He said it's, and he needs to get it. And the word get, he emphasized in this promo. And that got under Braun Strowman's skin. Braun says Bray doesn't know him, and at Money in the Bank, this all ends. He wanted Braun Strowman to say, get these hands. He was kind of insinuating that Braun was going to say, get these hands, and he didn't say it. I'm not saying get these hands, said Braun Strowman. Oh, Braun, our journey is just beginning. He said he doesn't want to spoil the fun, but he asked him to give him a taste of things to come. He reached out And where this thing came from, I have no fucking idea, because when Bray Wyatt came out, there was no mask attached to him. There was no bulge in his pocket in which this mask would obviously look like a bulge in his pocket. This was obviously a cut edit or something along the lines on this tape show. So Braun Strowman pulls out a black sheep mask, hands it to him. He tries to hand the mask to Braun Strowman, and he tells him to come back home. Suddenly, the puppets told Braun to come home, too, on a video package on the video wall. And the creepy music played that usually you hear when human Bray Wyatt is talking in that sinister tone. Braun acted like he was maybe kind of thinking about reaching for the mask, but then said, I am home, and I got the Universal Championship to prove that. He said on Sunday he's going to keep it, and he'll be stuck playing with puppets in the funhouse. Bray kept smiling at Braun, and Braun smiled back and then waved and, in a cheerful tone, said, bye, see you on Sunday. And that was it. Bray showed a different demeanor. He showed some disappointment in his face that his offer wasn't accepted, that Braun didn't take the mask. I tried, Braun. Sorry, I tried. And then Graves said at the end of this Sunday is going to be very, very interesting with a motivated champion and a deranged challenger for the Universal Championship. I like seeing Bray outside of the funhouse and cut a promo in this Mr. Rogers character in the flesh. I think it's a nice addition. It's a nice, fresh change of regular formulaic pace on WWE television. I wish we would see a little bit more of it. I'm not saying do it all the time, because then it would take away the special feeling of it when he does show up. But I didn't like this segment at all. Again, it's another one of those things that I can't fully invest myself in. I just don't care about the backstory about Braun Strowman and the Wyatt family. If it was a Luke Harper, then that's a different story. Even the Randy Orton storyline, when he was in the Wyatt family, quote-unquote, as an unofficial member, him being there was a clear-cut reason as to why he was in the Wyatt family and why he was succumbing and befriending Bray Wyatt. That was a great story that WWE fucked up. That I could have even invested all of my emotion and time in, because Bray Wyatt was the man back in the day. He was the WWE champion. He finally got that championship around his waist, and that championship was the one thing that Randy Orton wanted. He didn't give a fuck about the Wyatt family. Luke Harper seen it from the outsider's perspective looking in. Bray didn't really believe him. Luke Harper was trying to tell him, listen, this guy's a snake. This guy's the Viper. You know, he wants your title. He don't give a fuck about us. He don't give a fuck about the Wyatt family, our family unit. That was a great story. What is Braun's role in the Wyatt family? I'm still trying to figure that out. What was his important role? What did he mean to the Wyatt family? This is like a band releasing an album, a full-length album, and then they record some B-sides, which are demos, or they're a cover of a song that nobody gives a fuck about. This is the B-side of the Wyatt family. That's all it is. This is the B-side of the Wyatt family album that nobody legitimately gives a shit about. It's the international release. This is not the actual full-fledged album that you're going to find in a Walmart or a Target or Tower Records, if they're still around. Tower Records, FYE, Amazon, wherever you buy you fucking CDs, if you still buy fucking CDs right now, right? I know some people that still do, but you get my point. This is the B-side of the Wyatt family. Who gives a shit? These songs are not going to have any fucking meaning on the full album when you look back at their catalog. Nobody gives a fuck about Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt. Just give Bray Wyatt the fucking title back. That's all I give a shit about. Do right on the mistake that you made in February. You booked yourself into a corner here. Why is Braun Strowman being discussed as a Universal Champion? Nobody wants to see this fucking clown as a Universal Champion. Just give Wyatt the title back. This is the opportunity to do things right. It's going to be a little bit too late to make things right, but at least you'd give the title back to its rightful owner, who should have never lost it coming out of Saudi Arabia. Because this guy, he has no reason to be WWE Universal Champion. There was no explanation as to why he was even in the main event of WrestleMania, why he was in the match with Goldberg. So by all those accounts, that's 3 strikes and you're out. And the 4th one, forget about it. That one ejected you from the fucking game. That was like the manager being ejected from the game. He took the title off of Goldberg, or Bray Wyatt for Goldberg, in about 3 minutes. Do the right thing here. Fuck this story. Nobody gives a shit. Just give the title back to Bray Wyatt where it rightfully belongs, and then set him up for another loss to whoever the champion is, or the challenger is at that time. Jeff Hardy, Roman Reigns, whoever the fucking challenger is when the SummerSlam main event comes around. That's it. This is absolutely fucking uninteresting trash. I don't give a shit. You're going to remember what I said here. This is the B-side of the Wyatt family album. Nobody gives a shit. And I certainly don't, going into Money in the Bank. What was the word that I used earlier in the podcast to describe how terrible SmackDown is? Uninspired. SmackDown is uninspired. I don't want you guys to feel uninspired in the bedroom. I don't want you to be the SmackDown of the bedroom with your girlfriend or your wife, because I know your girlfriend and your wife won't appreciate you writing a SmackDown show in the bedroom like Bruce Pritchard. I love you. You don't want to be that. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, you want to be that. Right? Please tell me you don't want to be that. I'm here to help you, man. I'm here to help you. This episode of Off the Script here on SmackDown, the SmackDown podcast, is brought to you by Blue Chew. BlueChew.com. I want you guys to remember the days when you were always ready to go. I want you to be the Monday Night Raw of the Attitude Era in the bedroom. Now you guys can increase your performance and get that extra confidence in bed. BlueChew.com. Blue Chew brings you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. You can take them anytime, day or night, or even on a full stomach. And since they're chewable, they work up to twice as fast as a pill, so you guys can be ready whenever the opportunity arises. If you could benefit from more confidence where it counts, Blue Chew is the fast and easy way to enhance your performance. Blue Chew is prescribed online by licensed physicians, so you don't have to go to the doctor or wait in line at the pharmacy, not like that's happening now anyway. And it ships right to your door in a very discreet package. They're made in the USA, and since Blue Chew prepares and ships direct, they're cheaper than a pharmacy, and best of all, there's no more awkwardness. You only feel awkward by watching SmackDown in front of your friends because it's that terrible. Right now, we've got a special deal for all of our listeners. Visit BlueChew.com and get your first shipment free when you use our special promo code JD, and all you guys have to do is pay the $5 shipping and handling. Again, that's BlueChew.com, promo code JD to try it for free. It is the better, cheaper, and faster choice, and we thank them for sponsoring the SmackDown review right here on Off the Script. Please listen to me. Please. You don't want to be the SmackDown in the bedroom. Please. Please. Nobody wants to be SmackDown. Nobody wants to be on SmackDown. Nobody wants to watch SmackDown. Fox doesn't even want SmackDown. Don't be the SmackDown in the bedroom, please. Lacey Evans and Tamina. Jesus Christ, we got Braun Strowman, Lacey Evans and Tamina. We got Dana Brooke and Carmella on this show. I mean, who the fuck is writing this show, man? Lacey Evans and Tamina versus Sasha Banks and Bayley. This is before Bayley goes up against Tamina Snuka in the bathroom break on Sunday at Money in the Bank. I watched with eyes wide open. Because A, Sasha Banks, B, Bayley, and C, I was keeping account of how many botches were going to happen in this match between Lacey and Tamina. I did not count many, but there was one obvious botch towards the end where Tamina looked like she was having trouble climbing the top rope to go for her super fly splash or super lame splash. I mean, your father was Jimmy Superfly Snuka and you don't know how to do his finishing move? I mean, why are you even in the ring at that point? Seriously. Oh, that's right, you got me blocked, so I can go on and say whatever the fuck I want. You're terrible. You're absolutely awful. I don't know why you're even employed by this company. I don't know why you're getting a title shot. You've been off TV for about 7 fucking years, and all of a sudden you come back and poof. Poof, like Harry Potter waving the fucking wand at Hogwarts. You get a fucking title shot. Seriously. Yet I'm supposed to say anything positive about this fucking show, right? This is one of the solid reasons why the women's division on SmackDown is fucking abysmal. So what happened here? Tamina and Lacey win. Of course, Bayley, the women's champion, gets pinned before the pay-per-view because fuck SmackDown and it's Bruce Pritchard. What else do you expect? So, Tamina was given a Bayley to belly. And I thought that was it. I thought she was going to go for the cover, and then I realized that Bayley's finishing move is now her elbow drop, that Macho Man, Randy Savage-like elbow drop. Great-looking elbow drop by Bayley. Unbelievable elbow drop. Tamina was like halfway across the ring. She jumped, she leapt, she landed it. Beautiful. It was a thing of beauty. So, she got the elbow drop. Very close near fall. Tamina kicked out, which gives you an indication of what's going to happen on Sunday. So, I'm sure Bayley will win with that. When Tamina lifted Bayley on her shoulders, Sasha interfered. Lacey gave Sasha a loser's right. Bayley then knocked her out of the ring. Tamina then gave Bayley a super kick and a Samoan drop for the win. That was obviously before the shitty hot tag, or after the shitty hot tag, I should say, and Tamina Snuka fucking struggling to climb the top rope to deliver a splash. She could not get her footing whatsoever. I don't even know why she's up there if she doesn't know what she's doing. She looked like a complete rookie. 14 minutes of torture this match was. Sloppy, uninteresting. I don't give a shit about anything regarding Lacey or Tamina. All I care about is Sasha and Bayley. That's the one storyline that I legitimately care about. Nothing was built. Nothing was forwarded here between Sasha and Bayley. We'll probably wait till Sunday night at the pay-per-view. Tamina is terrible, and Lacey Evans looked like she was about to change my fucking oil in the Mustang. That's what her ring attire and ring gear looked like. Changing oil, pumping gas. This is what Lacey... She'd probably do that better than she wrestles. So there you go. Tamina and Lacey win in 14 minutes. Who could possibly give a shit about the women's division in WWE? They went to Kayla, who I don't mind watching, interviewing Dana Brooke and Carmella backstage. My boy Jesse gave me a nice little analogy about Carmella and Dana Brooke on SmackDown. They are the plastic queens of Staten Island. I don't know where Dana Brooke is from, but Jesus fucking Christ. You talk about the epitome of a diva in WWE, or the epitome of what WWE wants their women to look like. Jesus Christ, the amount of plastic surgery between Carmella, Dana Brooke, and Charlotte put together, holy shit, could amount for the rest of the roster for about 10 fucking years. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. They don't even look real at this point. But I guess that's what Corey Graves is into. Dana Brooke is terrible. Every time she speaks, I cringe. Brooke said no one, including Carmella, could believe she beat Naomi. That's because she shouldn't have. Carmella said she was wrong and she apologized. Brooke said she believes she has just as good of a chance to walk out at Money in the Bank with the briefcase than anybody. The risk is worth the reward of becoming Miss Money in the Bank, she says. Carmella says she has an advantage being a former Miss Money in the Bank 2 times. One time, the other one belonged to Ellsworthless. Not sure if you remember that. She said friendships and alliances don't matter. She said she'll remind everyone why Mella is money. Cringe. Why Mella is garbage. Cringe. A hacker video played. And we had the hacker with his voice distorted. He showed up again and showed clips from the show earlier. We've seen Sasha and Bayley. We've seen The New Day. And he was watching. He was watching the show. I am so sorry, hacker, that you had to sit and watch this fucking show. I am so sorry. He said the thing about anger is you can hear it before you see it. Then he played a voice on a voice message. And he said something is coming soon. Something is coming soon. The truth is coming soon. Or I am coming soon. I don't know. I don't know. Somebody's coming soon. And then the screen then said, in big bold letters, the truth will be heard. You hear it every fucking week on this podcast. What the fuck you need the hacker for? What do you need the fucking hacker for? Who is it? Xavier Woods? Is it Mustafa Ali, Bruce? Is it Chad Gable? Shorty G? Who is it? CM Punk? Like some of these fucking geeks on social media think, oh, it's CM Punk. It's CM Punk. Making clickbait thumbnails. It's CM Punk. CM Punk's dog. CM Punk's dog. Right? CM Punk is going to come back and take over a hacker gimmick in WWE in front of no fans. I mean, are you fucking that stupid? Jesus Christ, your IQ is like the fucking light bulb that's looking down upon me right now. CM Punk is the fucking hacker. Why would he come back in front of an empty arena as a hacker? Jesus Christ, are you people brain dead? Jesus. CM Punk is not the hacker. At this point, I don't even give a shit who the hacker is. Is it entertaining? Yes. Is it intriguing? Yes. Will we be disappointed? Yes. Who is it? It's probably going to be disappointing in the end. Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro with King Corbin. They all made their individual entrances versus Daniel Bryan, Drew Gulak, and their mystery partner. WWE played this off as it was some big mystery. Meanwhile, Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak backstage confronted Otis and asked him if he heard King Corbin's comments about how fat he was. So Otis said, no, I was with Mandy in the trainer's room. What did he say? And Daniel Bryan was like, why don't you walk with me, my friend? So they played it off as if we didn't know it was going to be Otis. And they had the anonymous question mark behind Gulak and Daniel Bryan all night. Who's going to be the mystery partner for Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak? Meanwhile, we just seen about fucking 30 minutes before this, Otis walking with Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak. Who the fuck is it going to be? Who is it going to be? Ali? So we got Otis, Drew Gulak, and Daniel Bryan teaming up. This one went 12 minutes. If I paid attention to this, man, if I said I'd paid attention to this match, I'd be lying to you. I don't. Every time Corbin is in the ring, it literally makes me find the nearest fucking thing, anything to do. Seriously. I'd get on my hands and knees and start picking up fucking strands of cat hair and find that more enjoyable off my floor than watch Baron Corbin wrestle. This guy is fucking terrible. And him in the ring with Roman Reigns for 7 months, and now he's in the ring with Daniel Bryan for 3 straight weeks. I mean, please. I can't take it anymore. Get this guy away from SmackDown and WWE. This guy is fucking terrible. I don't care about anything he does. So Corbin, Cesaro, and Nakamura win. We got Corbin giving Drew Gulak the deep 6 for the 3 count. It's nice to see him win with the deep 6. Too bad. You know, I want to like Corbin. I really do. I think he's got a good move set. He's got some good moves there. He's got a good setup move in the deep 6. He's got a great finisher in the end of days. Too bad he just sucks as an overall wrestler. But he beats Drew Gulak, and he gets the win here for his team, which means he is going out to win Money in the Bank, correct? Nah. Corbin's not winning Money in the Bank at all. So Corbin at the end of this, we talked about this in the beginning, this brawl that happened, and then they were fighting over the ladder, and Corbin at the end of all this, he held the briefcase up and wondered, Cole wondered if he'd win the Money in the Bank for the 2nd time in his career on Sunday. No. If the lasting image was Baron Corbin holding up the briefcase, that means he's going to lose on Sunday. And I doubt that they give Baron Corbin the briefcase over AJ Styles. Who needs it more? Baron Corbin is in main event after main event after main event, and you got AJ Styles who is fucking buried in a ditch at WrestleMania. Who needs it more? AJ Styles, I feel like, is a perfect Money in the Bank, and obviously, I think a lot of people would agree with me on that. First of all, I said Aleister Black, but you got to really think logically here, folks. Yes, he is a solid choice. Yes, he deserves it. And if you really think logically about the situation, it's Aleister Black, the babyface. Does he look right carrying the briefcase, or does AJ Styles look better as a heel carrying the briefcase? Who do you want to see? AJ Styles versus Drew McIntyre? You know, it could go multiple ways. Aleister Black can continue winning, and maybe he gets a title shot eventually down the line when AJ takes it from Drew McIntyre. Maybe they'll visit Aleister Black and AJ Styles for the WWE Championship on Monday Night Raw. I don't know. As long as it's not Corbin, as long as it's not Mahal, I think we are good to go for Money in the Bank. So I'm going with AJ Styles, but we'll talk about more of Money in the Bank on Sunday when I go live for the preview and predictions early in the afternoon on Sunday before we do the pay-per-view review officially on Sunday night. And that was your SmackDown. That was your SmackDown episode, folks. The reward is not watching. The best reward that you could possibly ever give yourself is not watching this show. It is lifeless. It is soulless. It is trash. I don't know how they look at this shit and think that they did a good job. It is so boring and formulaic, and the ratings are going to come in overnight tomorrow and then again on Monday with the official number. It was a 1.9 this past week, and I'm thinking that they go down to a 1.7. I'm predicting a 1.79 on the overnight for SmackDown. That's what I'm predicting. And it deserves it. Because the show sucks. It's trash. I'm getting out of here, guys. Thank you so very much for all that you do and all your support. Hit that thumbs up. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. If you guys missed any of the videos that I've uploaded previously, including today's Off the Script 325, part number 1, now available on YouTube, iTunes, and Spotify. Make sure you guys go and check that out down below in the description of this very video. Patreon.com/JDfromNY206. And I will see you guys on Sunday. Tomorrow, actually. Tomorrow with part 2 of Off the Script, and then Sunday for the Money in the Bank preview and predictions. And I'll see you guys then. BlueChew.com. That is JD, code JD at checkout for your free sample and $5 shipping and handling. You guys got to pay the shipping and handling, and you're good to go. You're good to go. And I'm good to go, and I'm getting out of here. Again, thank you guys again, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow for part 2 of OTS, and then Sunday for the Money in the Bank preview and predictions. See you guys then.